So the question is it worth converting from an F9 to the RADSPEED? Josh currently gains the F9.
Yep.
And the new current driver is the RADSPEED. Cobra have dominated, haven't they, in the last 3 years with this?
Yeah, not only have they been better on a price, from a price point of view, but they've been big on the technology and improving the speed of the club. They're saying that you're going to get more ball speed out of it.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to test F9, SZ and the RADSPEED and pretty much come to the conclusion, is it worth jumping 2 years ahead? Okay, now, so we're going to go through this on its journey, aren't they? Almost the evolution of the Cobra driver, current date, from F9 all the way to RADSPEED. So, go a little bit of tech. The whole journey of the RADSPEED is basically lighter, faster, radial weights, CNC mill face. Very similar to what you have in your hand right now, but we've got basically a morphed version of it.
Exactly. This is almost like the start of the journey. Hold on, were you saying morph version because of the sky marks that were on it, or?
Yeah, there's some dirty sky marks on there.
I mean, I'm just going to put a caveat out there. Second hand was like that when I got it.
Alright, okay.
For me, I love this driver. I think it's great. I think it looks brilliant behind the ball.
Put it down, let's have a look.
Okay. And I think that is going to be the same throughout. I really do. I think they're all going to look fantastic behind the ball, and it gives you confidence to hit it. The difference, obviously.
So his look's a big thing for you?
Yeah, I think so. It's got to resonate, because if you feel like you're going to be able to hit that ball, you feel confident with the club head behind the ball, you like the way it looks, you've got more chance of hitting it well, haven't you? Personally, that's what I think. Obviously, the big difference from the F9 going up to the SZ was the face. The CNC mill face went over the top of the edges and the bottom more than it did on this one.
SC was made a little bit lighter with basically what I can basically describe as like a roll cage inside it.
Yes.
So you can put more carbon on it.
Yeah, and it's almost as if the RADSPEED has taken that even more to the extreme.
Okay, what we're going to do is, Josh, in terms of the looks, we're going to go through them all right now before we hit them away. Like we say, 10 shots of each. One thing you like and don't like about the aesthetics of the F9.
So, the way it looks, the size of it, behind the ball is fantastic. The only thing with it is the chippy paint.
So you almost like the glossy paint, you don't like the look of that?
Exactly, which they've then solved in the next series of it with the SZ.
Grab the SZ, let's have a look at that badge now. What do we like, what don't we like? Because a lot of people will be looking at this CNC mill face that wraps over the top and going, that don't look traditional, that. I don't like the look of that.
But I think it also brings more confidence that A, you're not going to damage your driver if you do get one slightly off the top. It happens, alright, happens to the best of us. But B, it just, again, behind the ball, it doesn't look overly different. Like, the shape of it isn't overly different. It's got the grooves on the back just like the F9 does, but it just still gives you that confidence that you get a good strike on it, it's going to fly.
Lines, because you know, obviously the change between this one and that one are these lines. I thought it made it look a little bit more like rounder.
Yep.
Sort of. Yep. I don't know, just visually to me, it looked a lot more rounded down the ball. Yeah,
I agree. And I think also it's got a bit more. Well, the F9's got a carbon finish on it as well, but I know in the SZ they did a matte.
Yeah.
Look, didn't they?
It wasn't like part of the big marketing campaign, but yeah, definitely had a finish.
And then with the RADSPEED, they have...
Wait, whoa! One thing you like, one thing you don't like about it.
So the one thing I like is the extension of the mill face.
Yeah.
I think it's just gives you even more confidence than I have with that one.
And I think I know what you're going to say here. You're not a fan of a glossy paintwork, are you? You like a matte finish, which leads us on to
the RADSPEED.
Got to say it properly, mate.
The RADSPEED. No, I'm not doing it again.
Okay, aesthetics, put it down behind the ball, have a look at it.
So, behind the ball, the one thing I would say is it looks slightly smaller. So this is just, I
thought that when I first picked it up, if I'm honest. We've just set these up, Craig Brown Park has got them in his demos, he's been thankful enough to give us them.
Yep.
But yeah, I just got out thinking, I was like, bloody hell, it looks quite small, that.
Yeah, so this is just the standard one. In a good way, I agree. This is just the standard RADSPEED. So they've got this, they've got the RADSPEED B, or XB.
Which is like a draw version.
No, that's XD.
Oh, it's XD.
So XB is like a larger version. Don't worry, I'll bring you the tech. It's like a larger version, so it'd be more like the SZ to me, in my opinion. And then the XD is the draw version, so it helps you play a draw.
Okay, but today we're getting into numbers now, guys. Let's get straight into this test. We're gonna basically test what we're calling the standard version of each.
Yes, correct. And the 2 points I would give on this, the matte finish looks quality. I even have grown to like this colourway. I know they brought out a bluey finish with white, but this green colourway is unbelievable.
Looks like golf colour green then, mate.
Oh, is that why they've done it? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Big brand ambassador. Yeah, standard. And Bryson.
And Bryson.
Yeah, sound. Okay, let's get into it then and start with the F9.
Right, so before you go, before you get your F9, many people were thinking, many people actually probably have the F9.
The F9, yeah.
And I'm making that decision, well, I've not had a driver for 2 years now.
Yep.
Do I invest?
Yeah.
Because some people don't do it every year, some people do it every
other
year.
Yeah.
And that's probably most cost-effective way of doing it.
Yeah, and you're probably going to see, well, we'll see, but I think you'll see the most change in that sense.
Interesting. Okay, smash it away. 10 balls with each, we're not going to delete any, it's going to be a true test. Let's go.
Felt quite good. We'll see.
First one's away.
Not too bad.
Ball number 2. 10 shots of the F9, little glimpse at some of the data and the grouping. On to the SZ. Josh throwing a blanket over the first two here with the SZ.
Just hugging the left edge of the fairway, you know it is.
Hugging the left edge. Very interesting, very similar numbers so far between F9 and SZ.
Yes.
Okay, next ball, ball number 3, mate. This boy's getting out of breath here.
Getting out of breath, getting a bit looser now. The last two went a bit further.
So here we go. Here's a little glimpse into Josh's grouping. A little bit bigger on the SC. But look at that, little magic numbers in there, a little bit faster.
Yeah.
Let's get on to, mate, one you've been looking for.
The RAD.
RAD. Okay, mate, you've never, ever hit this before.
Nope.
First opinions.
It feels lighter. So even just with the ball, with the club down behind the ball, it feels a lot lighter in my hand. And like the head feels lighter,
that
kind of thing.
To do with a bit of shaft as well. I mean,
yep.
It'll be slightly different shaft than what you've got, what you're used to.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're gonna. You love, these are the two things that you like about a driver. Matte finish.
Yeah, matte finish and the infinity face. I think it's great. But the fact that it feels lighter sort of gives me the confidence that I don't know yet, but I may be able to swing it a little bit faster. That'll
be interesting because we've seen a little bit of progression in the journey of your F9 to the SC.
Yep.
Interesting thing is actually, that's my SC and it's a little bit of a shorter shaft.
Yep.
We're actually swinging it quicker.
Yep.
Now we're on to the RADSPEED. So if we've seen this like evolution of the Cobra driver, modern Cobra driver we'll say, we're hoping that we see a little bit more of an average figure on here and a little bit more club head speed. But it's going to be interesting this because we're basically answering that question for people. Is it worth jumping from an F9 to a RADSPEED?
Yeah, and the only other caveat with that is it relies on me actually hitting it well. So we'll come to that.
Do you know what's fair though, mate? People go to a fitting and it's intimidating. You've got a pro stood there, somebody watching your game, whoever it is, the fitter, and you feel like under peak. You feel like you've got to hit it.
You got to hit it good,
pretty decent. So this is pretty much having a fitting for everybody right now. We're doing a fair test. The last 3 years worth of drivers of Cobra. Let's get into the one now. The
thing I would say about that testing is don't worry too much about the carry, and because I've got hung up on that in here.
Yeah,
and this is with him. So just don't worry about that. Go with the feeling. How does it feel to hit?
It would have almost been better to keep the numbers off.
Yeah.
Hit him and then look at them afterwards.
Yeah.
Could be the test, couldn't it? Right, that's it, mate.
Hey yo.
Interesting this. Josh went to me, sliced that, absolutely sliced that.
Yeah, I've actually hit a nice one down the middle.
And he's hit a nice one out the middle. A little bit of a lower speed, still decent smash. Ball speed, similar up there, but okay carry and not too much difference in distance.
Very interesting.
Ball number 4.
Halfway through hitting the RADSPEED, a little bit of an update. Looks fantastic behind the ball. Also, the sound is unreal. We all know that matters when you're hitting a driver. Finally, could be going a little bit further.
Right, mate, so let's have a look here. So let's start with F9.
Yep.
Club speed 99.
Yep.
Ball speed 146. Smash factor 1.47. Carry 223. So let's look at carries just to begin with. Went to SC. Basically a mile an hour more club head speed.
Yep. And a lot more, well, 10 yards more carry.
big difference there.
Big jump there, isn't there? And then...
But also look at your ball speed difference.
This is the thing.
46 to 48.
Yeah. And then going on to then the RAD, obviously ball speed, like I said before, I felt like it was going to be higher because my club speed was higher because it was lighter.
Yeah, it was, club speed was higher. If you look at the difference between 99 to 106, it's 2 miles an hour basically.
Yeah, and then you look at the difference between 146 to 149.
That's big.
Yeah.
That's massive. But one thing you can see on the side of the screen here, everybody, like you can see Josh has thrown in a 270, a 267, 262. So even though his average was very similar between the SZ and the RAD, massively different between RAD and F9, and the carry and the overall total, sorry, is a lot more on the RAD speed.
Yeah, and I felt like when you catch the RAD speed right in the middle, that's when you're going to eke out them extra yards and you're going to get them 270s in there. And it's the A, getting used to the club, but B, there's obviously the head being lighter and everything like that gives you those little bits and ekes them out. So
the question is, mate.
Yes.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Yep.
If you saw those stats and you had a fitting, would you upgrade?
100%.
Because I think there's a massive difference in ball speed is the key there. I think Trackman's been a bit kind to you on 99 club speed, 146 ball speed, and giving you a 254 total.
Yeah.
You hit them with some of it at a low ball flight, so it's suggesting that it's running like 30 yards.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't know Josh plays in Manchester where there's no roll.
Very good point. But I think the other thing of it is as well is, as soon as I'd hit a few balls with that RAD speed, you get used to the lightness of the head, feel like you can swing it a bit quicker, and that's when I was getting the 270s, your 267s out there.
Because people might say like, oh yeah, well you warmed up before, and in theory, as you hit more shots, you're gonna get tired. Like you hit 30 shots there, plus your warm up.
And we weren't exactly having a break in between shots, it was ball after ball after ball, churning them out. So I think the fact that I can still eke out those extra yards with the RAD speed, having hit 20 already, says a lot about the club. So there we go. That is the answer you all wanted. Is it worth going from an F9 to the RAD speed? Absolutely. It is. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next week.